Warm greetings to Africans on the continent and across the global African family. Today is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. My name is Adesua Ima, and I am speaking to you from the Voice of Sovereign Africa, a platform committed to truth, African unity, sovereignty, and the shared progress of our continent and its people worldwide. Families, today we share an important message from Ibrahim Traoré, President of Burkina Faso, with meaning far beyond one nation. It speaks to Africa's future, our youth, education, and the responsibility to build a united, self-reliant continent. In his address, President Traoré honors students and teachers, stresses education as a driver of national progress, and calls for patriotism, discipline, innovation, and service to Africa. Listen closely, reflect deeply, and engage as active builders of Africa's future.
It is a real pleasure for me this morning to take part in this special day dedicated to academic excellence. I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to all the deserving award winners, both the exceptionally talented students and the dedicated, inspiring teachers. And I strongly encourage each and every one of you to steadfastly continue the incredibly important and impactful fight that you are so passionately leading. This is truly a special and indeed significant day for you, one that rewards merit, of course, but it is also a call to continue to keep fighting for what is right and just. The situation of our nation means that everyone at their own level, no matter where they are or what they do, must fight for the survival of our homeland. And I think this is the right moment for me to pay a heartfelt tribute to all the sons and daughters of the nation who fight day and night against all odds, in the rain and under the sun, so that we can live, so that the children of our country can know peace. Let us therefore pay tribute to our brave FDS and VDP fighters who are currently on the front lines and who continue to stand strong in the face of imperialism and all its manifestations. I would like us to take a minute to pray for them so that God may protect them. Thank you. This particular day is indeed a very special one, truly. And it should call us to greater responsibility, more patriotism, and more love for one another. Today, we are in the midst of a revolution, but a revolution cannot be carried out without a valuable human resource. And when we speak of a valuable and competent human resource, we are talking about education. That is why we place great importance on education, but above all on excellence in education. Once again, I congratulate you on the diploma you have just earned and wish you success in the rest of your academic, university, and for some of you, professional journey. My dear teachers who accompany these children every day, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the hard work you have done. Children now spend more time with their teachers than with their parents. In addition to being those who impart knowledge, you are also the ones who help to educate them. I would like that, in addition to your role of imparting knowledge, you do not wait for us to impose or create a program of civic or patriotic instruction. You should take the initiative to incorporate these values into your daily routine from now on. Every day, taking 30 minutes or an hour of your time to teach children love for their country, love for others, solidarity, integrity, patriotism, in short, all the values our ancestors passed down to us, would be a great asset for these younger generations. We cannot wage the fight against imperialism and its manifestations without an awakened youth, aware of the current challenges and who understands why our land is under threat and why we must fight to survive. We are counting on you to continue this struggle and to keep enriching the school curricula so that these young people with you can become the true and good citizens of tomorrow that we are seeking. Certainly, we have initiated many programs such as the Patriotic Immersion with high school graduates this year, but this is a program that will be extended to all schools, down to the primary level, because we want you to be able to understand the situation of your country, the situation of the world, and to be able to fight to liberate your country and ensure that Burkina Faso shines and becomes a model. We will continue to give everything we have so that education in Burkina Faso becomes a shining star, and so that you can serve your nation with honor and live in peace. Having academic diplomas is certainly good, but I would also very much like to address some additional topics that are an integral part of your overarching theme for today, namely the crucial issue of patriotic commitment, and I would confidently say the fundamental question of national sovereignty. Because endogeneity, the endogenous development we talk about, is about sovereignty. These two words and these two concepts are very important. Let's start with patriotic commitment. Today, you are the best students in Burkina Faso. I want you to understand that some of you may receive scholarships to go abroad and continue your studies. Others will continue here. But for your commitment to your homeland, from now on, you should not take a scholarship to go serve another country. You must come back to serve your homeland, no matter the circumstances. Certainly, one could say that in the past we did not pay much attention to our elites, but I believe that out of a sense of patriotism, you must come back and serve your country. It's not because elsewhere they offer you better salaries or better living conditions that you should abandon your homeland. No one will come and change Burkina Faso in your place, so no matter where you go, if you have knowledge, come back and serve your country. We are also working to ensure that the conditions offered to you elsewhere can be found here so that you can give your best and your family members, your loved ones, your fellow citizens can benefit from the fruits of your intelligence. This is part of patriotic commitment. Beyond all that, you must be committed, firmly committed to defending the cause of your homeland, to being good citizens, to setting an example wherever you go, whether in Burkina or elsewhere. You should be able to be recognized because you are Burkinabe. And you must be recognized by your positive values. That too is commitment, giving a positive image of Burkina Faso abroad through your behavior, which everyone should admire. You must commit yourself to defending your homeland. As I said earlier, it's not just about taking up arms, it's about taking action. Our society today is very much used to considering only formal diplomas or specific training when hiring people, often relying heavily on the traditional CV. However, we are actively working to fundamentally change that established approach. Very soon, we should indeed be asking people what practical skills and abilities they truly possess and what they can actually do, rather than simply focusing on what academic diploma or certification they happen to have earned. That is truly what matters most of all. I am very happy to see that a multitude of fields are opening up in Burkina Faso. Recently, the Ministry of Higher Education has therefore developed the university map and even reorganized all the fields of study. And you must continue to broaden the learning base. But one thing is clear, we must not fool ourselves either. We have conducted an analysis, a diagnosis of our educational system, and I'm going to tell you something. This year, I requested several statistics from the Minister of Secondary Education, who is present here. The statistics of various kinds that I took the time to analyze made me realize that if we want to develop ourselves, as your theme says, endogenous development, we must be able to create the substance. What do I mean by that? This year, when you look at the statistics, we have a much higher percentage of literary baccalaureates than scientific baccalaureates. And here we have a problem, a serious problem. Literary baccalaureates are good, very good, because we cannot understand the world without you. All those who talk about geopolitics, who analyze global geopolitics and help citizens understand the world are generally those with scientific baccalaureates. All those who study society, these literary baccalaureates are all those who study society, sociology, philosophy. We need them so that young people can understand the world, so that we can understand our society, so that we can know our history, and all of that is very good. All those who practice law have done this literary baccalaureate. It's not that there are no jobs for those with a literary baccalaureate, but it shouldn't be more than the scientific baccalaureate. Why do I say this? The world of science is the reality of facts. What can you do today without science? First of all, to be healthy here, we all need doctors. They are indeed scientists. This morning, or throughout your entire schooling, you traveled to school. Some of you might have ridden your bikes, others took motorcycles. That's mechanics. That's science. The asphalt, the tar we drive on, that's science. The beautiful streets we see here and there, that's civil engineering, that's science. Everyone eats. To farm, you need to be scientific because the chemical fertilizer you put on your crops is chemistry. To process our raw materials, we need to know chemistry, physics, and even mechanics. We want to industrialize, and that means machines. So in our daily lives, we truly live with the undeniable and constant need for a scientific mindset. Consider the clothes we're wearing today. Of course, Faso Danfani is being beautifully and widely promoted, which is wonderful, but many of you are undoubtedly wearing imported clothes, meticulously woven elsewhere by sophisticated machines that were ingeniously made by brilliant scientists. Furthermore, the very chairs you're comfortably sitting on are surely imported, having been carefully crafted by highly skilled people who have diligently developed and advanced science and technology. This is to tell you that we need people who produce. If we want to develop, we cannot continue to be eternal consumers. So how can we get young people interested in science? I turn first to you, teachers, who may also need to change certain things in the way you educate children, especially at the primary level, so that they become interested in scientific subjects such as mathematics in general and physical sciences. Find the methods, the means, so that every student can understand and enjoy it. We shouldn't let students start hating mathematics just because of mental arithmetic. You need to find the right approach so that everyone enjoys science. Of course, it makes people laugh, but that's the reality. There are some who aren't good at mental arithmetic, but when the problem is written out, they can do well in mathematics. So we shouldn't traumatize them during mental arithmetic to the point that they end up completely hating mathematics. I'm counting on you to find every possible way for these young children to become interested in mathematics. But more importantly, we can't change our educational system without going back to the very beginning, especially early childhood education. We need to start getting our children interested in science and mechanics as early as age 3. That's something that had disappeared. I think we lost interest not long ago in early childhood teachers who were forced into early retirement after, unfortunately, the death of the father of the revolution in the 1990s. But today we are in the process of recruiting. After the recent exams, we have opened at least 1,000 positions for early childhood education. These people will spend at least 2 years in school. But in the meantime, we have also launched another cohort of 300, if I'm not mistaken, who are already trained and whom we need to recruit this year so they can start as early as the next school year, allowing us to have preschools in more places. But we also need to equip these preschools so that children can learn to unleash their creative potential from the very beginning. If we miss this foundation, we miss everything. Today, we are investing a lot in education. We are trying to bring schools up to standard as best we can. There is a large-scale school modernization program currently underway. We can no longer accept that you spend your time at school balancing chemical equations without ever going into a laboratory to actually perform the chemical reaction. We are working towards that. For those of you who have truly and diligently studied technical tracks, I congratulate you, but you shouldn't just be drawing intricate gears on paper without having your own operational machines, your lathes, and actually physically manufacturing and making those very gears yourself. We must produce, and we have to produce. We cannot remain eternal consumers. So the transformation of the school has begun. The initiative has been launched. Of course, we need to build facilities to standard, but we also need to build many laboratories in our schools. We absolutely cannot spend our valuable time meticulously drawing plant and animal cells without ever truly looking at them closely under a powerful microscope to genuinely understand what their fundamental structures and functions are. This very morning, I am especially and profoundly moved by the significant fact that one of my esteemed former teachers is indeed present among all of you here today. He was voted best teacher. I congratulate him, Mr. Zalu Adava. It brings me great joy, and you will understand later, you students, when you are perhaps working yourselves, just how important a teacher is. I hope that teachers and students will form a single body and that you will be able to help the country move forward. The nation is counting on you tremendously. And as I said, we will do everything we can to ensure that our education produces substance. We cannot continue to import. Soon, we will set up a center in Burkina Faso that will serve as an incubator because there are people who may not have had the chance to go to school, but who invent, who manage to reproduce, who manage to create. In this center, we will provide all possible machines so that those who have the material to create can come together, add a bit of science, and enable them to set up their own businesses. Starting next year, we have a project to establish a special academy that will train many practical engineers. The project will be launched very soon, God willing. We have many projects underway in the field of education because we firmly believe that without high-quality human resources, we will not be able to develop and we cannot achieve the revolution we desire. The revolution is not just about importing what we want, but it is also a revolution of mindset so that we can produce ourselves. I invite each and every one of you to reflect on what we can do. What can we create instead of spending all our time importing? Remember this. I don't think God came down to earth to train the first engineers in this world. They thought, they discovered, they tried and tried again, they created. So don't think that you absolutely have to go and study in order to become an engineer. You can absolutely develop, and you are certainly smart enough to do it. Please do not listen to the discouraging voices of those who are not entirely convinced. Some individuals might tell you, this isn't at Burkina Faso's current level, we are simply not there yet, but that is not the complete truth. Listen, let's just stick to the bare minimum and not think too far ahead. There are people who will try to discourage you like that. No. Who created school? It was those people who thought, who invented things, who decided to teach others, and little by little, school was created. Are you telling me that we are incapable of creating something ourselves? Are you incapable of creating?
No.
So from now on, in addition to school, we should think about what else we can do. And as I told you, the center will be set up and all of you here may have the opportunity to go there, show what you can do, and we will help you get started. Because we cannot keep importing everything. I was telling the minister that very soon, I might even ban the import of bicycles into Burkina Faso. If we can't manufacture bicycles, then we'll have to go back to using donkeys and horses at the market. You agree with me that this is unthinkable, right? That we import even the most basic things. Even the simple buttons on your shirts, I don't think we make them here. Do you think that's normal?
Applicative indeed.
Yet we have the brains, we have the resources. We've also spent time having our brains stolen. As I was saying, patriotic commitment requires you to come back and serve your nation. And for those who are abroad, I also urge you to consider coming back to serve the nation. We will do everything so that you can express your talent right here at home. So think about what I'm telling you. We are capable of revolutionizing everything, but it all starts in the mind. And if I have one piece of advice to give you, it's about the internet and social media. Many people today could perhaps have been in this room, but were led astray by the internet. Remember this, imperialism is strong. They know how to manipulate you. They know how to destroy you indirectly. Look at your television channels. We spend our time on music, comedy shows, and everything that comes with it, like science programs that air on TV. Look at your social media. You will lose yourself if you spend all your time watching this kind of content where girls are almost naked and dancing to music, and you spend your time following that. Your brain gets clogged, you can't progress. That's the reality. Pleasure is one thing, knowledge is another. We're not saying you shouldn't have fun. You can have fun, but the advice I want to give you, often people don't say it out loud, but deep down, everyone knows it's a problem that's eating away at us. And today I want to tell you this. It might not please everyone. And generally, our young women, please forgive me, you are already all beautiful. You are the most beautiful. You don't need to expose yourselves on social media. Stop doing that. You need to focus on what's essential. There are people who spend their time raising awareness so that others wake up, helping people understand the world. Those people don't have many followers. There are people who spend their time sharing all kinds of scientific content on social media. Those people aren't very followed either. Look at some craftsmen, I don't know, in Pakistan or wherever, who use social media to show how to make basic objects. But that doesn't interest us. It's the ones who create content with girls showing themselves naked on social media. That's what interests us. Young people, you need to be careful. If you focus on these things, your brain gets clogged up, you can't think anymore. And that's dangerous for you. We don't need that. There are times to have fun, but when it comes to your time, you need to focus on studying and creating. Promise me that you will create
Africa.
All right, you answered even before I finished my sentence. Thank you then, and I think we understand each other. There are things that people might say are topics that shouldn't be discussed, but as I told you, I'm not a head of state like the others. If someone thinks it's a topic, there are no taboo subjects with me. As long as something negatively impacts my youth, I will talk with you and tell you what I think. Focus, continue your studies, don't let yourselves get distracted. It's very important. The more you stay focused, the more you learn, the better our nation will do. If you understand the world, war will end. If you understand science, we will develop very quickly. And you are all geniuses, you are capable of creating, and I am counting on you. Dear teachers, I want you to keep spreading this message. Dear parents, I am calling on you as well. Make sure that television and social media, that you reduce their intensity with the children. They need to learn, their brains need to develop. When they are addicted to these devices, they can no longer think. Everything is geared toward decline. It's very dangerous. Make an effort. The nation needs its children. Africa needs to get out of this situation. They have created everything to lull Africa to sleep. The programs you watch on your social media are not the same programs they themselves created and that their children follow. Understand this. Take your apps where you follow things I say are not good. The countries that created them, in their own countries, their children do not follow what you follow. Why do they do this? It's to trap you, so that your minds never develop again and you remain just consumers. And when we say consumers, it means you'll be forced to sell off your raw materials just to afford the luxuries they're selling you. In short, I wanted to give you some advice as well, in addition to congratulating and encouraging you, because the nation needs you. We must build our country, we must free our country, we must live in peace again, we must become developed, and we can only do this through unity, through harmony, and through the pursuit of knowledge. I am counting on you to make Burkina Faso shine brightly and everywhere in the world, for you to hold the flag of Burkina Faso high, and for our country to become an example so that all of Africa can unite one day and we can overcome all these scourges that destroy Africa. Thank you very much. I wish you the best of luck. May God be with you in your next academic journey at university and in the professions that some of you will choose. May God continue to protect and support our brave teachers who fight day and night on all fronts to impart knowledge to children. I tip my hat to you. You are fighters for this nation. Continue your noble work and keep guiding others. Thank you all very much, and I wish you a wonderful ceremony and a beautiful day. So take the time to enjoy some of the tourist sites in Ouagadougou, which can also be useful and educational for you. The homeland or death, we declare it. Thank you very much.
Do you agree with the president's call for young Africans to prioritize service, scientific learning, and loyalty to their country over comfort abroad? And what steps should governments take to turn education into real production and innovation?
Leave your thoughts below. Let's reflect and build together, because Africa's future depends on us all.